anytime I go out in public somewhere and I'm being helped with customer service or just someone who works there, they always ask me, "Are your eyelashes fake?" And I'm like, "No, they're not." I mean, do they look fake to y'all? Like, I don't really know. Like, I guess they're just long. But then one time, one of the ladies asked me, like, what mascara I use and how many coats I use. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, that's weird. That's weird to ask, I feel like. But, okay, thanks for complimenting my eyelashes. Hey guys, so today is my first day of work as a campus missionary intern. Sadly, my boss is not here. That's where he normally is. He is at a training, and I will be at a training like on the 5th through the 9th, so I probably won't vlog during that week because I know it's just gonna be like hectic and very event driven, so I'm just gonna put my phone away and be present, and I think that's really important. And I'll explain to y'all exactly. I realize that I've explained that I'm an employee, that I'm a missionary, and I'm on campus for an extra year, but that I haven't really explained what my job entails and why I'm actually staying. So I think I'm going to do that a little later when I'm not trying to work. So yeah, I just realized like I was watching my old videos and I haven't really explained myself very well. So to some of y'all who are close to me and watch, like y'all know what's happening, but other people who, if y'all aren't close to me and you're just watching just to watch, which thank you, but this is your chance to find out what I'm doing with the rest of my year. So alrighty, catch y'all later. Hey guys, so this is my follow-up video from yesterday, and this is just me explaining kind of what I do. So last fall, I was approached to see if I would think about being the campus missionary intern here at Howard Payne, and you know, at first I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't want to do this. This is not something that I feel led to at all. And it's so funny because a lot of the time we find that when we tell God, like, I'm not doing that or anything but that, that's exactly what he calls us to. So as I took the time to pray and talk more about it, I just realized, like, actually this is exactly what I want to do, and this is exactly where I want to be. So I went through the interview process and kind of decided that, yeah, this is what I want to do, and I got accepted. And it's, even though I just started, it's already been a huge blessing. And so basically I go around campus and I'm basically a student without classes, because I get to do all the fun things and get to do administrative work here. So it's just a really great opportunity to share the good news and to break boundaries and to get out of comfort zone and to really just break down the walls of students here who, even though they come to a private Christian campus, like, some of them have never heard the truth. So it's just a really cool and challenging opportunity, and I'm really excited to grow and be here. So yeah, that's about it. And if y'all have any questions, don't feel afraid to ask me anytime. So alright, have a good one. Hey guys, so this is one of my really good friends, Jarvis, and I had asked him to come speak because I had heard a lot about his baptism story from other people, and they were saying, I wasn't personally there, but I've heard so many good things, like people were crying, you got emotional.
Yes, very emotional.
And it is an emotional time, but I just asked him to come and talk about baptism in general and how influential baptism was in his life. So I'm going to hand it over to Jarvis.
Yes, like she said, my name is Jarvis, and my baptism journey was an interesting one, but I think a lot of people can relate to it. Most of us, I grew up in the Methodist church, and so as soon as I was born, I was baptized. And so it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with it. But I had never gotten to a point where I like owned my faith. Like it was always seen as like my mom and dad's faith that they brought me into, mainly my mom's. But I recently, maybe about 3 going on 4 years ago, like truly started, like made the decision to start following Christ, and he turned my life around. And but I was wondering throughout that whole time, like for about 2 years, like I had it on my heart, like maybe it's time to get like rebaptized. Or I didn't even know that like you could get rebaptized.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked around. I was back. I from the Dallas area. And I wanted to do it there, but I hesitated. And then the Lord was like, "You're going to Brownwood." I was like, "Why am I going to Brownwood?" Because I'm from Dallas. I wanted to find a job out here. But the Lord, as most of y'all probably know, he kind of has a plan for all of us, and he ended up convincing me to come to Brownwood, and so here I am. And so I still had it on my heart, like I should try and get baptized, but I haven't really found a church out here, and I've been visiting other ones. I was drawn to the idea of being a part of a church plant, so that led me to helping them start Brownwood Community Church out here. And Scotty brought up that he wanted to do baptisms for the first time for the church. And as soon as he said that, I was like, I need to do this. Yeah. I didn't know what it was, and I was afraid to bring it up with my dad, because I didn't know how he was going to feel about it, because I had always heard these scary stories of people wanting to get rebaptized and their parents not really thinking that was a good idea. So I was kind of afraid, but I should know my dad better. He's not the kind of person to ever force any kind of idea on me. He was always supportive of me, sports and everything. And I'm not mentioning my mom because she passed away in 2011, and so she wasn't alive for this part of my life. Right. But I know that she's there. She's obviously up there with the Lord because she did know the Lord, and so she's been seeing all of this go on. And so as soon as I got their, like, I guess quote unquote blessing to be able to do it, I immediately jumped in and told Scotty, hey, I want to get baptized too, put me on the list. Yeah. And so a couple weeks later we get to that day, and I was like happy, but I hadn't really felt it yet. And then it finally, like, it got to my turn to go up, and as soon as I set foot in the water, I just like I couldn't hold it together, because I was so excited that all of my emotions were just going crazy. Like there was so much happiness that I was crying my eyes out before I was even dunked. And so Scotty did the thing where he says, like, what you're supposed to say when you get baptized, and then he dunks me under the water, and I feel this immediate rush of like, and if you're able to see the photos on my Facebook, I'm crying my eyes up, but I'm like, got my hands victory. Like it was such an emotional moment for me, probably the most emotional moment in my life, like happy wise, that I'd ever felt. And like I had all my friends out here that they're part of different churches as well, and it was just the combination of all of that, and what I realized that it meant. It wasn't just a thing to get people to think that I was a Christian or anything, just to please somebody else. It was a decision I felt like I needed to make to proclaim to the world that I am following Jesus Christ. But I've also found out that it's a way for your Christian brothers and sisters to be able to hold each other accountable, because you made said decision.
Yeah.
And that was another important aspect of that decision I made in that moment. It was the best moment of my life to this day. That moment in my life, because I was so happy to be surrounded by so many people that cared for me.
Yeah.
And the feelings that I felt in that moment were too real to not, like they weren't just heat of the moment kind of things. Like sometimes you go off to camps or things like that, or you
it's
go
like
to,
a high.
yeah, it's like a
It's
high.
not a high.
It wasn't a high because that's how my relationship is with God all the time. Like it's not always up there every minute of the day, but my relationship with the Lord has been like that. Yeah, there's been struggles and things like that, but it was a combination of what He's done for me up to that point and what it meant for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So it was huge.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Thank you for having me on your vlog.
You're welcome. Anytime. So if y'all ever have any questions about baptism, any questions just about following Christ in general, thinking about it, getting curious, don't be afraid to ask. And if you have any baptism stories that you'd like to share, either comment, you can message me, anything. Jarvis, I'm going to call him out because he is a wonderful person to talk to as well. So if you have any questions, he can answer them as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
I'm trying to explain it. I meant move Adri. That way you can sit.
I'm cuddling with Adri. She doesn't like it.
Just be in my brain.
Adri, just be nice.